Shimron, I know you touched on it a little bit yesterday in the broadcast interview, but can you just expand on your thoughts on your batting position and if it helps you to bat up the order or like get more overs in to be able to go out and score the way you've done in the last 2 games?
I think as a batter, you would like to bat earlier, regardless of how well you're playing at a specific position. But I'm a team guy. I'm a team guy, so I always think team first. So I don't care about where I bat or how many balls I get to bat. To be fair, once we get across the line, that's it for me. So I try as much as possible not to let stuff like that bother me. I think it was like when I was probably a little bit young, it probably bothered me a lot more than it does now. And I just try as much as possible to execute when in whatever position that I'm placed in basically.
Hi, Pratik from Batball. We've seen 2 consecutive wins in the last 24 hours from the Orcas. How impactful has been Raza's captaincy in turning around like what's happening with Orcas in the last 2 games?
I think to be fair, it's just that it hasn't really changed that much from Klassen to Raz. It has the impact that both of them has on the team. It doesn't really change that much because of the fact that it's like we all as senior players inside the team and even the junior players, we come up with our little plans to specific players and so on. So it's all about us as a team just executing. And I think in the couple of the other games previous to these 2, we just weren't executing well as a team and as a bowling unit, as a batting unit, even in the field as well. We weren't really doing what we needed to do. And I think now, when stuff happens off the field, it can either go one way or the other with a team. It can either bring them closer together or you could tear them apart and have guys going into little cliques. But I think so far it hasn't impacted our team in a negative way. And the guys have actually drawn closer to each other and starting to believe a lot more in each other's abilities. And I think something like that really comes out and helps each and every player to get out, like kind of get out of their shell and just be expressive.
We were speaking before the game about like what kind of a mindset you are in when playing such high impact innings. There must be some cheat code playlist that you must be listening on your headphone while like before playing such an high impact innings in like 24 hours.
Not really. I just try as much as possible to keep a clear mind. I think I told you this earlier. Because I think the minute I start to overthink stuff is then is when I kind of get into these positions where I get out really really softly. Like even today in the last over, before I think it was the 3rd ball or the 4th ball that I faced. I was telling Kyle that I'll try. Let's get a 2. So that like for me that was me overthinking things again. And then the next ball I was like, okay, we just need 3 runs. So even if I hit the ball, it'll probably still go for 6 on this ground anyways. So something like that kind of impacts how I play when it comes to me trying to overthink and trying to go away from what I've been doing for however long it's been working for me.
Congratulations on it.
Nick Hayes, MLC Talk. In the past in Major League Cricket, we haven't seen scores like we're seeing now. We're seeing 200 plus pretty commonly. When you get to that level of scoring, the ebbs and flows in the game can be pretty significant, and it requires a recovery sometimes, or like you've done the last couple of nights for your team. That's a lot of pressure, typically, or it can create a lot of pressure. Now, you've played in a lot of leagues where scores are higher like this. Do you think your domestics on your team who maybe aren't used to chasing 200 plus, do you think that they're coming along, to be able to handle this type of pressure well, or do you think that was never a problem?
I think 200 for me is all in T20 cricket is always a task. It's something that does, like, although it happens regularly in T20 cricket now, I still think it is a task and you still have to go out and bat properly to get to it. And for us as a team, we try not to like segregate ourselves from the domestic guys because we see everyone as professionals. So we're not thinking that, oh, this is a local guy or he hasn't played as much as I have. We're just thinking that, okay, everyone in the team has their specific amount of skills and they've been picked based on that. So it's just for them to just go out and execute. And even if they don't execute, still they could come back come back if they need some talking to, or just to put a hand on their shoulder and be like, oh, that was a good effort, and you just keep going again. Because I think it's a bad thing as players if you're to, like, especially senior players or the coach or the captain, whatsoever it is, to go and kind of, what should I, not really dumb talk, I would say, but kind of like speak to especially the local guys in a negative way, especially if they're not executing what according to the plans. So in terms of us as a team trying to make sure that those guys do not feel as though they haven't played as much, because I think USA has a really good team. It's just for them to get into more international cricket, and they'll be one hell of a team to mess with in a few years to come. So it's just for us, as like I said, for us as a team, to put their hands around the guys' shoulders and just take them along for the ride and let them enjoy it.
Yeah, follow up to that. You mentioned how when people are performing or when they're not performing. Now you have some great stars in the team right now who are kind of in a rut, and you're still the last two games still winning games. Do you guys talk amongst the team, like, wait until so and so starts to get hot? Wait, you have that faith in your teammates, I'm certain. But do you feel like you have to see the best from the Seattle Orcas?
I really do think so, because I think when we get to this, when like all the guys start to get to where they need to, I think we'll chase or set ridiculous totals, or either set ridiculous totals or chase them in a really fast time. So it's just a matter of, for me, I just think it's a matter of time before all the guys just to come together and just finish games for us, or set a proper total for us as well.
Me, so I wanted to ask you about Harmeet Singh. We asked yesterday in the press conference to Sikandar why Harmeet didn't bowl in the last game. He's one of the quality spinners. He's your vice captain, and he's shown that whenever he comes in earlier and starts bowling, he gets you a wicket for sure. Today he did that. He just gave 17 runs. The rest of the bowlers were pretty expensive except for Wahar. How impactful is making a decision to put Harmeet in earlier is, and what are your thoughts about having such a teammate on the Seattle Orcas?
I think coming from yesterday was kind of a little bit of a different situation for us, because when someone like Pooran is bowling, the ball spinning in is ridiculously easy for him, and especially on this ground, wind or no wind. We saw it yesterday. It would have went for 6 regardless. If so, in that we had other. I just think that we had other options in that situation, that we could have just given it to someone else, and he understood it, which is really good, because there's a lot of guys would have probably just sulked and just went away from it, but he did his job well, and I think that is a part of being a professional, of knowing that whenever the captain calls upon you or he doesn't, your mindset or whatever you're thinking does not change. And to have such a guy in our team is actually really good, because I've played with him. This is the second time I'm here. I was here the first year just for 2 games, but now since I've been here, he's been one of those guys not really the international guys, because he speaks Hindi and I have no clue what he's saying sometimes, but more so like the local guys and so on, because we have like a lot of young guys inside that he would go to and help and speak to them. Even Raza does the same thing. So it's nice to have those guys inside of the team that the younger guys could really lean on and learn a lot from as well, because I think we also have another left arm spinner as well.
Last one I had for you is like, so Ayan Desai is one of the younger guys who played today. He got his first probably wicket for this year. Got a little bit more, like probably or gave a few more runs than he should have. How would you go in and chat with him to get him back with his consistently a deadly bowler as well? What would you say to him to bring him back with the same speed and keep doing how he's doing, or even do better?
For me, I don't think he bowled that badly for his first game, because one, it's really difficult bowling to guys like Russell and Rovman. I can't say I would know what that feels like, because thank God I'm not a bowler. And so like for him to come in his first game and he has to get straight on it right away, that is absolute class from him, and to even get Rutherford out as well, because he's as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than those guys as well. So it's for us as a team. I don't think we have to go in and tell him anything. It's just for him to learn. I think it's better as a player if you were to learn from your own mistakes. So like for instance, if he realized that, okay, I did this wrong or I didn't execute as well, it's for you as a player to go back into the nets or to go to practice and be like, oh, this is what I'm working on today, and that's it. And then the more you work on it, I think that the better you will get as a player, because that's how all players grow, with practice, and not just practice, with the right practice. Because you could practice nonsense and then come in the game and do nonsense as well. So it's just for us as a team, and for him as a player on his own. So if he needs the help, we're always here. The team itself is always there. But I think it's best for him as a player if he could just go into the nets and get whatever he needs out of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No worries.